Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Laura Couture Nails. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified every time I upload. So let's get into the video. They are already on, the tips are already on, and I am prepping the nail beds with the primer, which is the Bond Aid by, well, I'm not sorry, Bond Aid. This is the Protein Bond by Young Nails. So the tips that I'm using, I'll put them in the description box down below for you guys. They are the MAKARRT tips. They can actually be used for press-on nails, so that's a plus if you want to do press-on nails as well. So they do have a beautiful ballerina shape already, and she wanted to get a ballerina shape. The acrylic that I'm using, I actually just made it myself. It's actually Mia's Secrets white and Coupa clear, and I just mixed them up, you guys, and it works perfectly fine. This is how I do my Milky White. It's basically 1 part white, 3 parts clear, and I really feel like you get the perfect white, but you can play with it the way you want. It makes a good Milky White. You can like add more white, less white. Sometimes I do add a little bit less white, sometimes a little bit more. I feel like with this set I did add a little more, but that's okay. So I think we're trying to just cover up anything, because the nails are super long, but we only put like a thin coat of this Milky White because we are just going to encapsulate it, because if you do keep building on top of that, it's going to keep getting more opaque white, if that makes any sense. So there wasn't a lot of shaping with these nails. That's the good thing about these tips. So if you guys are interested, like I said, I will leave it in the description box below. They are the MAKARRT ballerina shaped tips. Or I don't know if they say coffin on there, but I'll leave the link down below, you guys, and you guys can check it out for yourself. And we are doing the Milky White on her pinky, her ring finger, her pointer finger, and her thumb. But on the pinky, we are going to be adding these little glitter flakes for a different accent nail, a little different effect. These nails were so fun to do. I love doing long nails. I really wish all my clients did long nails. That would be so fun because I love that aspect. But I'm actually starting to enjoy doing the shorter nails, like my mom's nails. I really want to get into doing those dip nails. Well, I hate calling them dip nails because I don't dip them in there for sanitary purposes, but yeah, like Young Nails, they call it pour nails, which I kind of like that name better because they're more about sanitation and stuff. So you just you just pour it on top instead of dipping it, and then you throw away whatever you used from that little container. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I did my mom's dip nails, you can check out the video from yesterday and you can see how I did that. I was actually just reviewing the GERSHION dip starter kit, and I really loved it. That's actually making me want to do more dip nails. It was really easy to work with, everything in that box that they sent me. And yeah, so basically on the thumb, this is super easy. Just like you just put a little bit. You know what's been helping me work a lot easier lately? I've noticed that when I started working back up, I made sure that the temperature in my room was really good. It wasn't too cold, because sometimes I used to have it way too cold for whatever reason. My little AC unit was acting up all the time. Like I would put it at one temperature and it was like kind of cool, and then it would go back up way cooler, and I'm just like, no. So I let it a little bit lower, and it's been doing really good. Like it's been helping with my application a lot. So I'm just making sure that the room is as cool as it should be, but not too cold where the acrylic isn't drying and working the way I want it to. It's really hard to control the acrylic when it's too cold, but also if you notice, if you ever try to do nails outside, the acrylic doesn't work well either. But yet you guys can see I'm just also doing her other hand. I just basically start with one bead from where the fake tip and the nail meet, and then we add a second tip on top, and then I just build up. If I need to add any more somewhere, like if you think you need a little bit more in the apex area, obviously you can add it, but we are just adding the Milky White like this first. And I am going to be adding a clear to basically encase that Milky Way, and that way we're not overbuilding the white like I said, but it's also going to help for structure and strength so that her nails are sturdy enough and she doesn't have any issues in case something happens, like, you know, like if your nails are too thin and, you know, you do something wrong, they can break off a lot easier. But of course you should always be careful either way with any type of nails. So you guys can see I put my first bead from the middle part down, and then I add the second one closer to the cuticle but not touching it, and then I'm going to add one way closer to touching the cuticle, but obviously we're not going to be touching it at all. We're just applying it as close as we can, pushing it up and then feathering it down, if that makes sense. That's the best way I could describe that. So we're going to add our first bead, like I said, somewhere towards the middle where the fake nail and the actual nail meet, and we just spread that out, feather it down. We add a second one a little higher up on top of that one, and we feather that one down, and then we're gonna add another one right near the cuticle area, pushing it up as you guys can see, and then making sure nothing floods the cuticle, cleaning up around that as well because you don't want anything touching the skin. So with this here, we are going to add a little flakes, and I'll leave that in the description box below. I got the little flakes off of Amazon. I think they were a little bit overpriced, so if you can find them anywhere else, that's fine. But I mean, when I need something on Amazon, it's because I don't care what I'm going to pay for it. Oh, I got a little notification. But anyway, I get mostly everything on Amazon only because I feel like, as you know, when you're running a business, you should, if you really think you need it, like say somebody was like, oh, can I get this, and you're like, oh, I know I can get it by tomorrow on Amazon, or at least the same week for sure. So I got it on Amazon, so if you guys are interested, I'll leave in the description box below the product. And yeah, we're just adding that on top of the pinky, on top of that Milky Way, and then we're just going to encase that after. So I saved the middle nails for last because they're going to be the glitter, and you know how glitter gets messy, so I just didn't want to contaminate the liquid in the little dapping dish. So the reason why we're putting glitter is not because it's going to stay like this, but because we are going to be adding the Swarovskis right on top of it, so that way if anything, you know, there's glitter under there, it looks, you know, more cohesive, I guess. And I just feel like it gives it a little bit more pop of bling from the Swarovskis on top, so it looks more full in case there's like little gaps here and there. The brush that I'm using, you guys, is a number 20. I get this question a lot. I don't have any links because I get it at my local nail supply store, but it just says is it Kalinsky? Yeah, it just says it's a Kalinsky number 20 brush. I think that's all it said on there because it's already faded off, so I can't even tell you for sure. But I know that when I went to the nail supply store, I asked for a number 20 brush, and they said this one was really good. So always ask for their recommendations because they know. It was a little pricey. It was way over, I think it was like $28, but no, actually, you know what, that's actually a very fair price for this brush that I've been using for like a long time. So I've actually been taking really good care of it, and that's what's really important, so it lasts a lot longer. But it is, like I said, a number 20 Kalinsky brush. And I think they pinched it for me. I'm not really sure. But it looks like it was pinched. So, yeah. So then we are just encasing the nails with my Coupa acrylic. I just put it into this little container. Sorry. This little container from the Dollar Tree, you guys. And I just put it in there because I needed something to grab the little flakes. So I already had it on the table, and I was like, okay, might as well just use this. But yeah, I really like this product. Coupa is like one of my favorite brands. They have everything. I just feel like everything they have is high quality. And I am using their monomer as well. And yes, I do feel like you should use the same products when you're doing the acrylic systems. It just works a lot better. but sometimes I do end up using the monomer, obviously, because that's the only monomer I have. So I'm not gonna go and buy all these other brands just because I have different acrylic powders, if that makes any sense. So it's okay. Like, a lot of people just sell acrylics and they don't even have monomer, because at the end of the day, it does work just as fine if you mix them up a little bit. So yeah, we're just covering up the middle nails, making sure that we are adding enough product onto the apex area. If you guys are also interested in my gloves, these gloves are not the best, to be honest, for nails, because I just feel like that's not enough protection, but I just like them, so I'm just trying to use them up, and maybe I'll find some other ones. We will see. I really hope I find some with a pretty color like these, but these are latex gloves, I believe. Actually, let me double check. I'm gonna get in my drawer and check what it says before I say something wrong, and I did. Okay, so they're not latex, they are, oh yeah, that's true, they're nitrile, because latex gloves I can wear and the acetone won't rip through them. So that's a plus. So make sure when you're looking for gloves, they do say latex, because that will protect against the acetone, stuff like that. But there's other gloves that have a better barrier than all these other gloves. I just don't know which ones they are, and I just don't know how they feel on myself. So I'll just do more research and let you guys know in the near future. So we're on the last nail. As you guys can see, I do start from the middle too and go back down, kind of like it when I was applying it in the beginning. Then I'm gonna add more because I felt like it needed more right there in that apex area and my free edge area. We put it and feather it down. You can kind of see at an angle where you need more or less. You see, like on the free edge, I applied it and then I just feather it up and then feather it back down to make sure it stays even out. So after this, we're gonna go ahead and move on, and I am just going to do the other side. And we're gonna file. So these files I got on Amazon, I just made another order because I used all of mine up. And, well, not all of them, I still have a couple, but I did use most of them up. And I do have extra ones though from Cosmoprof and Sally's, I believe. So that should hold me up for a while, even before these come in. So we're just going on the sides, you guys. I'm kind of going under, if you guys can see, and trying to straighten up the side and the free edge as well at the same time. As you guys can see how I hold her finger for stability. And I'm going like at a straight motion, then I go at an angle, only because you have to go under there and make sure you remove anything. And the shape is a ballerina, so you do have to go at an angle, somewhat like a 90-degree angle, to get where, well, kind of like you're putting more pressure on the free edge part on the sides, because you know that's where it goes down more narrow. But I also, after I do the pointer, I do like to flip the nails backwards to look at her view, which is called the client view, because that's how you can see what they're going to be looking at. So I do like to not rewind them, but turn them around and look at her view and see what needs to be fixed and straightened out. Usually it's the free edge I need to straighten out. And when I feel satisfied of them as straight as I can get them, then I can go and move forward back into continuing to file the thumb. The thumb is very hard to turn, but it is not impossible. You just have to make sure you're not hurting your client, because that can be annoying. So just make sure when you're doing this stuff, see how I'm holding her finger? I'm trying to make sure I'm not hurting her, and I'm stabilizing her hand with my finger strength, I guess. And then, like I said, I can go back and continue doing her thumb, go into the sidewalls, and remove any acrylic with the file too that may be stuck on her skin, because this is how you get most of that off before you go in with your e-file, your electric drill. So guys, now we can continue, and now we'll be taking my medium drill bit, and this is a carbide bit, and they are PANA, so I'll leave the link down below as well. And I'm just gonna use this to go around the cuticle area and the surface of her nail to make sure that everything is removed, all the lumpiness, all the bumps and stuff like that. And then I go back into her cuticle area as well. And we do this on every nail. We do the free edge as well. I go under the free edge to make sure that it's straight. It looks like everything that, if anything got under there, you can remove it with that. And it kind of like shapes it back up under there too. Like the C curve. If you guys know what the C curve is, that's what I'm trying to say. Sorry guys, I've been having a long morning. It's almost the afternoon and I'm a little tired. So I did try to edit this video last night, and now I'm just trying to get done with the voice over. But anyway guys, I'm talking so much. So I'm going around the cuticle area again, removing anything that may be stuck to her skin, because we all know that we produce oils all the time on our bodies, including our nail beds. So we are going around to remove anything that may be touching her skin, because if it touches her skin, it starts producing oils, and the oils get underneath the nail a lot easier because you didn't remove it. There is no like detachment, I guess you can say. You have to make sure that they're not touching, and then you should be a-okay, especially if you prepped your nail bed the proper way. You should be fine. Just also make sure you tell your clients, guys, please don't come in and have hair product on your nails and other things like that, because that can affect their nails. That can affect their nails from lifting. So tell them not to touch their hair, any lotion, cuticle oil, anything like that. So that way we don't have problems on each end with you and the client. So they don't get their lifting, and you feel a lot better about that. But at the same time, that wouldn't be your fault. So just make sure you tell them that. As long as you tell them that, you know, they'll start to be more conscious of that. But yeah, we're gonna do this whole side too, but I am not gonna show it. I'm just gonna show you the little pinky for a little bit. Okay, so I am taking the Mia Secret on top of that glitter middle finger. That's why I added that glitter. That's what I was trying to explain. And then we're just picking up random sizes. I think I used 3 different sizes. I just don't remember what size it was, to be honest. But we are just filling them in and making sure that there's enough everywhere, that there's no gaps where there shouldn't be. And we're applying the Mia Secret little by little, because if we were to just apply it on the whole nail, then the bottom part would have dried up before you got to it. So that's important to know. And I am using this wax pencil that I got. I think I got these off eBay though, and I never go on eBay, but they do have them on Amazon, I believe. So I'll try to find a link for them on Amazon for you guys. And yeah, I love these. These are Sworvaski's, guys. I got these off Sky Beads, I believe, Sky Beads online. So I'll leave that in the description box below. I actually have to make an order today if I can, if not tomorrow, because I'm running out of certain stones, especially the round stones that I'm using right now. And yeah, this set was super fun to do. I always love to do long nails. Oh, you know what else I need to buy, you guys? Those little background things that you see in my videos, because I feel like I used up a lot of them, and they do get messy with doing clients and stuff, they get wet. Or even when I do videos on myself, the little backdrop thingies, they're like scrap papers for like scrapbooking, but they get ruined by me doing the nails. So I'm gonna go and buy some more, you guys, and I'll let you guys see. I'll probably haul them in some videos so you guys can see what they look like. But yeah, we're going little by little, applying the glue little by little, adding the stones, moving them around, making sure that we're not making it too bulky either. And like I said, this is the Mia Secret gel resin, and I will be using the activator spray from Mia Secret as well to dry them at the end. The other finger, guys, I'm sorry I didn't get to show you. My phone was dying, so I hurried up and like kind of was charging it while I was doing her other hand of stones, and it's a different design that I did, but it's not like complicated or anything, so if anything I could always show you in a different video. But I did do her other nail already, but you guys will see how it looks when I'm done with these. And as you guys can see with Swarovskis, they have an iridescence of more like blue, pink, purple, and a little bit of like orange yellow tones. But if you notice with regular stones, my other stones, they have an iridescence of green. And you know how green kind of gives you that fake vibe? Like, you ever seen gold turn, like fake gold turn green and stuff like that, or makes your finger turn green? I guess that I associate that with fakeness, so I think that's why I love Swarovskis, and they do shine a lot better. But you see how I went around with the Mia Secret right here? Go around the edges, a little bit in the middle. We don't want to ruin the stone, so we don't do that too much. And then we spray it with the activator spray, and they should be good to go. So we're just gonna apply my D&D top coat. This is my favorite top coat, and it's only $5 at my local nail supply store, you guys. So check out, if you can find, go on Google, because sometimes I didn't know this when I got out of nail school. I really didn't know where anything was. I didn't know what stores to go to. The teacher told us to go to Cosmoprof and Solencentric, but they don't have everything. So like, you gotta find other stores, and there's always a nail supply store somewhere near your city. Even if you live somewhere like in a small town, you can go outside the out to the city, and they all definitely have something. Like when I was in Colorado, I think I drove an hour and a half to the nail supply store, and it was definitely worth the drive. So they have everything there, and I'm pretty sure every nail supply store has a D&D top coat. But there you go, guys. We did cure it for 1 minute in the LED lamp, and I love how they came out. They're so beautiful. This is like one of my favorite sets I've done on her, and I think it's because of all the Swarovskis that are on there. So pretty. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.